My name is Amber Wilson, and today we will be discussing two perspective images to be used by local law enforcement in hopes of promoting neighborhood safety. There are 4 areas one should consider when selecting an image of suburban and urban areas. First is cultural familiarity. Per Liu, the definition of one's culture, among other things, is dependent upon the age, gender, and ethnic background and social class. While one could argue the culture is relative to each individual person, between the two pictures, the overwhelming general culture is that of America, based on the cars having American plates, as seen here and here, and the visible signs in English, here, 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 and the signs in English, which are defined as a melting pot of all cultures. The two photos show that the diversity of cultures of representing people of different race, gender, and age. There are elements within both images that can speak to one's culture based upon the target audience in question. As far as cognitive elements for the suburban image here, there are children marching on a public neighborhood street. Houses can be seen lining the street with family cars being parked alongside the houses, as can be seen here. The yards of the houses are lush and green with an abundance of trees and greenery, as can be seen all along the top of the image. These elements might evoke positive emotional responses if one lived in a residential home with their family and remembered perhaps taking trips in the family car. There is an abundance of green and blue within the picture, as seen in the kids' shirts. As learned from Rasmussen in Deliverable 1, these two colors are often associated with youth. Blue is associated with freshness and calmness. Coupled with the lush greens associated from the environment and growth, this suburban image can give the perception of growing from youth to adulthood. The urban image is crowded with cars, giving the illusion of busy and noise. There are people crossing the street of all ages and races and genders. This might remind someone in the city of walking to school or work. This can get off positive images of constantly being surrounded by the constant moving or exciting city. For one living in the city, a quiet, lush suburban life might give off feelings of being cut off from the world, whereas vice versa for a suburban person, being in a city packed with buildings, as can be seen on the horizon, and cars, which can be seen in the foreground, might be too constricting and loud. As far as emotional engagement, this again ties to the target audience. The target is to improve neighborhood safety. Thus, one would want to see their neighborhood. Is their neighborhood diverse? Do they care about the community? In the suburban image, there are children marching openly in the street, as can be seen here. This evokes emotion. Per Landa, an emotional benefit is an intangible brand asset which stimulates an emotional response in us, not a functional characteristic of a product or service, such as expressing one's personality by driving a specific brand car or feeling part of a community. In the urban image, one can see many cars lining the street. Some may have an emotional connection to that particular car brand, as stated in the above quote. Some may be emotionally triggered by the youth, as seen here, carrying a backpack, maybe on his way to or from school. This may trigger an emotional response to the institution of learning, thus creating safety. Some associate learning in school with kids, thus thinking safety. You wouldn't want to send your kid to school if they didn't feel safe. As far as semiotic codes go, per Rasmussen, a messianic sign causes the viewer to make assumptions about the sign. In both images, these people are upright, are on the move, moving forward, marching, moving across the street, and appear to have smiles on their faces. It can be seen on the children here and here. They're not openly weeping, they're not angry, they're not screaming. It looks like they're happily walking across the street. Why are they happy? They're walking freely in the street, which means they must feel safe doing so. They look at ease. They don't look rushed. They must feel at ease for where they are because they're walking openly in the street. A displaced code transfers meaning from one set of signs to another. The jump ropes, as seen in the suburban image, make one think of carefree children playing. The lack of traffic and abundance of people walking in the street make one think of safety. Trees and lush greens give one a sense of ease and freshness. The urban image has images of city buses here and here, which indicate safe travel for children and adults. The palm trees mean outside, relaxation, and are often associated with children. The abundance of cars means busy and sometimes social status. Condensed codes combine many codes to create a composite image. The suburban message is gained by the abundance of children, the lush greens, as can be seen almost everywhere,